Hello and welcome back to the workshop.
If it's your first time here, welcome.
In this week's episode, I'm going to take the controversial step of repainting the wheels.
And I'm going to carry on with the bulkhead.
My name is Oliver, and this is my dad, Andrew. He's a wicked engineer and my next door neighbour. We've always wanted to build a car together and make your own gear knob kit. There you go.
This might take a while.
Building a car and making memories with my dad. One of one, this is Project Mosquito. First, I think we need to take these seats out before you set them on fire.
Yeah, it's never a good idea, is it?
I don't trust that drop cloth. And that drop cloth looks more flammable than the seats do.
Oops.
That's the thing about taking all four wheels off a car, it takes up loads of room, doesn't it?
Yeah. There we go.
You might wonder why we're painting wheels in this episode when we've got so much to do. But the reality of it is that I'm not allowed to kneel down. I have to either sit or stand for the moment because I'm still kind of recovering. I'm frustrated with it. You want that?
I say from a previous knee injury.
Yeah, but I'm very frustrated about it. And also, because of the front bulkhead being kind of so small, I mean, it's tiny. Only one person can really work on it at the same time. We found when we were doing this, when we were doing this side, it's super fiddly. And so one person ends up kind of just helping and not really, you're not really progressing, are you? Where you've got two people doing one job. So yeah, I'm going to do this, and then we can have the car look pretty as well as make progress. And then you come on everything all together.
Yeah, because we're going to be, the wheels are going to be painted anyway, so they might as well be done now as later.
Yeah, and we're not double handling.
Yeah.
We shall, as Napoleon said, divide and conquer, although it didn't do him that good, did it? Now, not only am I going to be repainting these wheels this week, I'm going to be doing it twice because we want to do a gold lowlight, just like we did on the valve cover. So what's black in here that kind of just disappears on camera will actually be gold. But in order to do that, black is actually a pretty terrible base for gold, although this stuff doesn't require primer. So we're going to just kind of take the shine off it and use this as our primer, but then we have to paint it red and then finally gold. It's going to be a long one. Gold might seem a little bit brash and a little bit extreme to some people, but remember that the vibe for this car is late 60s, early 70s. And it was the time of the Warsteiner livery. It was the time of the Allen Mann Fords. It was the time when everybody stopped painting their cars the silk cut. Not silk cut.
JPS, Jump Plate Special.
No, Jump Plate Special, but that's not what I'm thinking. The Gold Leaf Lotus.
Yeah.
When I think Lotus were the first people to do it, weren't they? Because pretty much all, you might not know this, but pretty much everyone in Formula One was government backed. Renault were government backed, Ferrari by the French government, Ferrari were government backed by the Italian government, but poor Lotus had to pay their own way. And so they got a sponsor who were a tobacco sponsor, Gold Leaf, and they painted British racing cars. Instead of being green, they painted them red with gold stripes. And Allen Mann also, British company, but they used to race Fords, which were red with gold stripes. And even Ferrari did red and gold in the 70s. They had a 512 BB with a big gold triangle on the nose. And so a lot of wheels got painted gold in the 70s. It was very much a late 70s, late 60s, early 70s thing. A lot of revolutions.
Yeah.
4-Sport Revolutions got painted gold. Alley Cats were available in black and gold.
Yeah.
It's
weird though that Ferrari named a car after a French woman.
What, BB, Bridget Bardot? Yeah. It's because they had a poster of her in the workshop. And then they said it stands for Berlinetta Boxer. But that engine's not a boxer. Yeah, it might seem a little bit brash and a little bit garish, but just as with the valve cover, we're taking a deft touch with it. But it is the era of kind of Ziggy Stardust and T-Rex and the New York Dolls and there was a gold, there was a completely gold GT40. Bruce McLaren's car. Yeah, it was gold and pink. Which, if you said today, oh, I'm going to paint my racing car gold and pink, people would think you were mental. In fact, speaking of cars with gold wheels, Michelle Mouton won her class at Le Mans in a car on gold Gottis. Yeah, when I was originally kind of coming up with ideas for the vibe of this car and what I wanted it to be, I made a mood board, which might sound a bit tarty. Call it tarty if you will, but they do work, don't they? Yeah. And I've made my screen, it's actually my screensaver on my laptop of all the photos that have kind of inspired this build, and I scoured across the internet and all things that I really love and all things that I want this car to be. And one of the first pictures that I got was a set of these, and it's I don't think it's on the website anymore, but back when Gotti used to make Porsche 075s, I have a photo of the original Gotti website photo for the Porsche 075 in gold, and it's a gold lowlight, and so that's how far back me wanting these wheels to be gold goes. In fact, I think I had the picture before I even had Mosquito. You saw how nervous I was last week. It takes a lot of conviction to do something different, and I implore people who want to try something different on their car to do it, because at the end of the day, it's a car, and someone might say something mean in a Facebook group, but it's not their car, it's your car. And if you want to do something, you do it, you try it. It may not be the style of the moment, but let's face it, the style of the moment is the style of the moment until it's not, you know? Is it fighting back?
Yep.
That's your problem, you've changed to purple card.
Yeah.
When it were orange card, you were doing great. Good morning.
Morning.
I've been busy editing all the videos for you this week, both the bonus video and Patreon, and so I've had like a really busy week. Came in this morning, and Miriam and Dad had been masking up wheels to help me. They're the best. These two. I couldn't ask for more. Speaking of Patreon, I need to say a huge thank you to our Slicks tier Patreon members. Hang on, let's see if I can remember this. Alex Bottomley, Andy Wood, and Doug Scott. Along with our other Patreon members who are ever growing and very difficult to fit on the list at the end of the video. I might end up going to a 2 list at some point. But thank you, it's amazing.
Yep, thank you very much.
Our jokes aside, you might have noticed that we're like seriously trying to step up quality and putting loads of effort into making these videos as good as we can make them. And so if you've been watching these videos for a while and you're not subscribed, then please know that it really does help us. And if you are subscribed and you don't get these videos in your feed when you want them, remember that you can click the bell icon, and every time we upload a video, you'll get a notification at the top right-hand side of your screen when you sign into YouTube. Because obviously it helps us. It helps us when you get these videos from YouTube, and you know what YouTube's like. Some weeks they show the video, some weeks they don't, and so yeah, if you want that notification, then get that bell icon clicked.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do now is make a small panel that we can bond in and put a couple of pot rivets in, just to hold it in place while obviously the bond goes off.
A lot like the bread bin on the centre tunnel, yeah?
Yeah, and that way then it is a semi-permanent panel, but it can, in the event of something catastrophic happening to this, we can still remove it. I can trim it all up now, which will actually make it easier to fit in the final process. Obviously we've got to strip the whole car down again. All the new panels have to be repainted. The whole body shell is going to be repainted again in steel it.
The chassis, not the body shell.
Yeah, the chassis I should say.
Yeah.
The whole chassis is going to have another coat of steel it on it once it's all finished, and then we can go and move on then to final build. But yeah, it's looking good so far. And what I can do is these panels then I can put sealant on. They can all be put sealant in and all be fastened in properly.
But now you can see exactly why I'm doing this and not doing another job. Because if I was shaking the car now, Dad'd be chasing me with a hammer.
Yeah,
you can't work on top of each other, can you?
No, it's impossible. There we go.
Also, as amazing as Dad is at what he does, as amazing as you are at what you do, nobody's going to click on a thumbnail that says Dad does some more work on a bulkhead. and no, it's the reality, isn't it? It's the reality of YouTube. And so, like, me doing something shiny while Dad does something wildly complex, and because all of you lot get it, but you know, we also have to make good videos that other people might want to watch. And so, if this brings someone in who's never watched a Mosquito video, that's amazing. And I'll be honest, the pedal box was an extremely niche project.
Yeah.
And our views dropped right down, didn't they?
Yeah.
We loved doing it, and it took us 10 episodes, which is not what we expected, is it? And we don't usually talk about YouTube stuff, do we, on video?
No.
But it was a massive project. We are massively proud of it, and it's now a beautiful part of the car.
Yeah. And we didn't have $3,500 to spend on a pedal box.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, the thing is that if I'd bought a new set of Gottis, right, rather than buying second-hand ones and putting my own wheel set together, like these are custom PC, not custom PCD, they are custom offset, because I bought 2 sets of wheels and made custom offset wheels. But if I'd have ordered brand new ones, I think they're about €4,500. A pedal box is €3,500 for an underfoot slide-in.
So you're already up to €8,000 there, just in wheels and a pedal box.
A cam cover is €650.
Yep.
So 8,650. And the shifter, that's $2,500 by the time you've got all your brackets and stuff like that. So you're well over 10 grand.
10 grand, but you haven't even got a car, and yours you've got is a few shiny things.
Yeah. The reason why we haven't masked up the centre button is because we want the text on the centre button to be the same colour as the low light. Because we like making things hard for ourselves, so we'll have to paint it and then we'll have to polish it back. One of the things that I didn't like about these wheels is that they're only in a workshop, right? It's not like they're going out on the road, they're not driving round, and yet the black on them always looks dirty. Looks good on camera, looks great on camera, looks great in an Instagram photo, but I tell you what, it never looks clean, does it?
No.
Ever. And so I know that the second that they're on the road, they'll just look gross. And it was always my intuition, always my intention that these should be gold, and then I wimped out in the same way as a lot of you last week in the comments said, oh, I didn't think the gold would look good, and then I saw it and I think it looks good. It takes a lot of faith in your own in your own vision to kind of go a bit bananas with it. I finished masking wheels. Now go around and just check.
I've lost my pencil.
No change there then.
Nope.
You need to put it on a piece of elastic.
Yeah.
You had mittens when you're a kid. Oh, I need to stick my disc on the back. So you're having a minute, so you're going to spray these, because you know what paint does to me. And last week we got some comments about why I left the red on the valve cover and why I didn't take all of the paint off before and use the red as a base.
So the gold paint we're using is like a gold powder in suspension of a clear coat, and basically you can literally see through it.
It's semi-translucent. If you sprayed it on a piece of acetate and then shone a light through it, you'd be able to see light through the paint.
Yeah, and basically what that does then is whatever base colour you use alters the finished colour of the gold paint. So if you use red, you end up with a really warm, rich gold, right? If we did it white, like a white primer or a grey, it tends to look more green. But what we're actually wanting to achieve is a warm, rich gold.
Because a greeny gold looks really weird on wheels. It's why you don't see green wheels painted very often.
Yeah.
And later on we'll get a shot of the cadmium fuel rail next to the valve cover, and you'll be able to see just how green the cadmium of the valve cover looks.
On its own, the cadmium on its own looks gold.
Yeah.
Until you put this warm, rich gold next to it, and then it just looks green.
Yeah.
So that's why we're spraying it red first.
Yeah, because the light travels through the gold, hits the red, bounces off the red, travels back through the gold, and then into your eye, basically. And so you perceive the undertone, it's called, isn't it? And you can actually buy coloured primers as well for when you paint a car. Yeah. Certain colours require a coloured primer. Yeah. And I know, like a candy. A candy, like a candy apple red. You have to paint the car silver, don't you?
Yeah, metallic silver first. And that gives you the same effect where you get the bright metallic coming back through the candy apple and reacting with the paint.
Yeah.
And it makes a fantastic finish, but
it's a nightmare to do. Because you've got to paint a car perfectly twice. And literally every fibre of my being is currently going, ah! In here it is 12 degrees, but they're on a cold concrete floor and they're an alloy wheel, so it pulls all the heat out of them, yeah? We're taking the wheels into my mum and dad's house to put them on their kitchen table. We can't put them on my kitchen table because it's covered in floorboards. And my other kitchen table's there. So it turns out that this red paint is quite fickle, isn't it?
yeah.
We painted the wheels in here yesterday, and obviously there's a temperature range in which you're supposed to paint. And because we put the wheels on the concrete floor, it pulled all the heat out the wheel and dropped the wheels below the temperature that they want to be painted at. And the paint reacted. And so this morning we've come in and flattened it back and given it another coat.
Yeah, but it's worked out okay.
In the past we've talked about fog lights and the fact that we need fog lights. This morning, pea soup fog out there. This one.
Have we missed anywhere?
Middle, centre button.
Oh, yeah. Right, so I can now remove the heater. I've made my semi-permanent little metal panel that we can bolt in there, but it will have seam sealer on it.
Yes, it will be removable.
It will be removable without having to cut into anything. So I can now remove the heater completely. I can finish welding it all together. Well, this heater thing has caused us more problems than anything else on the car.
We've redone it like 3 times, yeah. We made a new centre console, everything.
Yeah, and it's
tricky because it's structural.
Yeah, and it's not just that. We wanted to be able to take. We could have put the panels in, super simple, round the heater, and then just welded it all in. But then we would never been able to take it out without cutting into the car. Yeah. Whereas this way we can. So
if we didn't have the centre tunnel as it is being structural, this centre console, we could have just brought this straight across and put the heater up from underneath, couldn't we? And then just put a hole for excess. But the thing is that we want it all to be structural, and that's the problem. The heater lives in a majorly structural part of the car where all of this is stiffness, all of this is chassis.
Yeah.
Because it takes you'd have to bend all of this to flex any of this, which one of the things that you're obsessive about is turning.
Yeah.
And turning feel, which is not something you really get on a normal car.
No, the thing is, right, if you've got a car like a Caterham, right? A Caterham is a prime example. A Caterham, right? The front wheels are always super planted, right? So that's why like a 620 can be as leery as you want. Yeah. You know, because you're going to unstick the back tyres with that much power.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Right? But the front is always planted, and the reason like a Caterham 620 is drivable
at all
is because it always turns in.
Yeah.
It's hardly got it's very little understeer, and obviously because you've got all that power, you've always got power oversteer. But the confidence inspiring thing is the front end always sticks, and that's what I wanted for this car.
It's definitely something that comes from your rally background, because in rally turning is so important. But it's one of the things that nobody ever talks about on YouTube. Nobody ever talks about chassis rigidity, because it's far easier just to shove 1,000 horsepower in a chassis that can't take it. And nobody ever talks about balance, right? And balance is really cool, but it's one of those things that is cool once you've done it. When you're doing it, it's not cool, right? Nobody ever wants to talk about balance, right? But a perfect example of chassis balance is, anyone who plays, I think it's Gran Turismo 3, the Castrol Supra, that was the JGTC Japanese touring car Supra with the green and red livery. That car did not have the Toyota Straight 6 2JZ in it, right? The 2JZ, one of YouTube's favourite engines, like drift cars, drag cars, people love them. You can make 1,000 horsepower. But when Toyota went to race it in the Japanese touring car series, they took the 2JZ out, put it in a bin, and got a little 4-cylinder from the World Rally car that's the Corolla engine. And the reason is...
And they made it unburstable.
But the reason is that big 2JZ was so heavy, the car wouldn't turn in. And it's one of the reasons I don't like Audis, right? It's the same reason, because that weight over the front, over the nose, just creates a very numb feeling car. And the Supra was never designed to be a sports car, it was designed to be a Grand Tourer, and in a Grand Tourer it's fine. But it's a big enough deal for Toyota to completely re-engineer their racing car, and it's what it took to make it win.
It's only the only way they could beat the Skyline.
Because the Skyline, as we all know, Godzilla, it was the most dominant thing since flipping sliced bread. So, we can now unwrap it. I love unwrapping isn't it weird, the red's like a coral pink. On top of the masking paper. I both love and am cringing at the minute, because you don't know how good it's going to be until it's all unwrapped. I think that's the root of my painting anxiety, you know. It's the fact that you don't know till it's done. You know what I mean? And if it's not right, you got to completely redo it, everything from scratch, don't you? I think it's that.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's amazing as well, right? What a difference these bits being masked off are. They're a massive pain to mask up, but when they're unmasked, they look mega. It just makes the wheel, I don't know why. Details. But it's if I was like an arty type person, I'd probably say it gives the wheel dimension or something. Now then, obviously I've got to clean the red bleed through off it, but that is very different. And we'll polish back this centre cap so that the lettering is gold, but the high spot is silver again. So don't worry about that, because it shouldn't, just like here, it shouldn't stick to the shiny, and this is super highly polished. It should just stick to where the lettering is. Yeah, I can't really go any further until the paint has had time to shrink back and harden. And obviously all the red needs cleaning up and stuff like that, but like I say, I need it to harden off first. But what do we think? Does it look bigger?
Yeah, that makes the wheels look bigger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I need to stand back and appreciate.
I don't know whether they like it or not.
No? I don't think we'll be able to see it properly until we polish the Gotti logo.
Yeah.
That centre being gold's difficult. I don't know whether I like it or not. It does look bigger though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make the wheels look a lot bigger. No, I don't know that I like it. If it's with the colour that we're painting the car, it might go really well.
This is why I hate paint. Because you can't see it until you've done it. You know what I mean?
So,
Oh God.
people, tell us what you think. Do you like it gold, or would you prefer it back to black? I'm saying I don't like them.
I want to hold off till I polish the centre cap.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like a bit too much bling. You know.
Yeah, we may have crossed that line. Although, like I say, once the centre cap's polished back and stuff, it might just mellow a bit as it dries. Because that's the thing with gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the cam cover seems to have mellowed a bit as well.
Yeah.
And it is supposed to be that late 60s, early 70s thing. It is supposed to be a bit out there and a bit, you know.
I don't know whether we've gone from Ziggy Stardust though to Liberace.
It's funny, I've always thought it's funny that, right? You know, like Baroque cathedrals and stuff. Like, we think of it now as being classic because it's old, yeah?
Yeah.
But if you did like your living room in Baroque style today, people would freak the heck out and be like, what are you doing? And it was kind of the same then. We just accept that it's like classic because it's old and we're used to it. It's always been like that to us. Yeah, is this one step too far? I don't know. What's to do?
Nothing. I just haven't got a thing to take the tape off.
Yeah.
No, you do it. I'm going to go and cut some steel.
Oh, we need to take the other wheels out. Bring the other wheels out. You said you were going to cut steel and then you started unwrapping wheels, so I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I think the humidity, and obviously, like you've seen this morning, we had insane humidity, has played a big role in this paint not going off as it should have. And it's, yeah, I'm getting gold on my fingers. I think I just need to leave it for a bit and let it harden off, otherwise I'm going to make a mess of this. So, Dad, your bulkhead.
Yeah, well,
It's nearly finished.
Yeah, it's come on really well this week. The little panel, the removal panel was a bit tricky to make, but that's done now.
Yeah, you've got a load of welding to do.
Tons of welding to do. I've done the top of the centre console now, so that's boxed in.
This is now a rigid thing rather than a floppy thing.
Yep, so that's super strong now. So I can continue, weld everything up, get it done. Fantastic job.
And then you've got foot blower to sort out.
Yeah.
Because that currently blows into the middle of the centre console and not at your feet.
Yeah, because we've all set the heater to make more room for our feet. Then we've got to now redirect the heat.
And you need your foot blower because it's like the most important. I don't know about you, but I tend to use foot blower more than anything other than my demister. It's like the most important heater position, so it has to work right. Wheels.
Jury's out, as far as I'm concerned. I don't
like them.
Not 100%.
This might be cope. This might be me just trying to make it right in my head. But it's growing on me, right? The centre cap is too much.
Yeah.
It's way too much. But I can't polish that back and just have the writing in gold until, and even that might be too much. We might need the writing in black or something. I don't know, right? But I can't do anything more than we've done because the weather is so humid. One of the wheels is actually reacted and we're gonna have to respray it, which to respray a wheel that you're not sure is a nice thing.
What we'll do then, we'll get one finished perfectly.
Yeah, we'll get one finished perfect for next week, and then or two, and then we can see them both together, one at the front, one at the back, and then we'll make a decision. But it is growing on me, and I do quite like it. I don't know. It's funny, I need to see it with the body on. I need to see on the car with the body on. But like I say, this is not the right
polish and everything,
Yeah, because it's got little bits of red all over it, and so it needs the red removing, this centre polishing, and the whole wheel needs a good clean because it's been that long since they've been polished. And I need to see two of them on the car, and then we'll make a decision. But let us know what you think down in the comments.
Yeah, leave us a comment. Did you like the black? Do you prefer the gold?
Have I just spent 2 days making wheels worse?
Or can you suggest another colour?
Yeah. No. But I want to say a huge thank you to the community because this week, particularly, the community has been amazing. I want to say a huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. Your contribution to this channel is wildly helpful in bringing all of these videos to you. And if you want to unlock, if you're not a Patreon member and you want to have a look at it, you don't have to sign up. But if you just want to have a look at what you get for your money and what's available, then that's down in the description below. Because you can get like extra photos from the week to what we're working on before everybody else sees it, and also a little tiny extra video that's not a mainline Mosquito video. It tends to be just us like messing about and having a laugh, really. But it's extra and it's a bit of fun. And I want to say a huge thank you as well to everyone who's left super thanks in this last few weeks.
Because, thank you very much.
Again, amazing. We're only a little channel, like I say, but we are growing and it feels like we are finally finding our community. And that's everything to me. I never expected to have like hugely broad appeal with this car. It's just too niche, isn't it?
It's too niche,
You know, we're too nerdy, it's too engineering, it's too niche, it's not a Dodge Hellcat.
No.
You know, or an orange Lamborghini or whatever.
And I don't think we've ever put tyres on with fire.
You've got to think about people putting tyres on with fire. We stretch these tyres onto these rims because these are technically stretch tyres. Jim Yorks stretched the same size tyre onto the same size rim and someone nearly lost their eyebrows. It looks good on a video, but you don't need to. And if you don't need to...
Yeah, unless you're halfway up a glacier in Iceland, you don't need to put tyres on with fire.
Yeah, we don't even have a tyre fitting machine, and we did it. Anyway, I think we're just not dramatic enough. We need to be more dramatic. We need to do the American, what was it, Orange County Choppers thing. We need to invest in doors. And start arguing more, All right, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you for watching this video. And don't forget to leave a Mosquito in the comments if you've made it this far in the video. If this is your first Mosquito video, this was a very weird one to start on, but I appreciate you anyway.
Yeah, and I hope you come back.
Yeah, and if you'd like to watch more, then there is a full playlist full of Mosquito videos, every single episode up to now, so you can see where we started. And now we're here.
Don't forget the bell icon.
Oh yeah, and if you don't get these videos appearing in your feed as much as you'd like, then don't forget that next to the subscribe button and the like button while you're there is the bell icon, and you can click that and you'll get a notification every time we upload a video. So if we do upload a bonus video like we did this week, I don't know why I said bonus like that, but if we do upload a bonus video, then you can you can know, and it won't just get hidden in your feed. All right, thank you all for watching. Please be awesome to each other, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.